York's #1 for throwbacks.
Hello, and welcome back to Tany Talks Live. And I got here the wonderful, the talented Miles in the building.
Thank you for having me.
He's an awesome singer, you guys, and I can't wait because this is the segment of the show that I like the most, where we go and talk about our special guests and who they are and why they are here. And I need y'all to know that everybody that I bring on the show, I am personally a fan of, okay? If you're on the show, that means I genuinely love and like your music, Miles.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
No, for real. Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a fangirl, you know what I mean? I'm like, bring everybody that I love onto the show. So tell me just a little bit about you for those who don't know.
For those who don't know, I was saying a little bit of this earlier. My name is Miles. I go by Miles. I grew up performing on trains and stuff since I was like maybe, I want to say like 8 or 9.
But like, are you a native New Yorker? Like,
I'm
what are
from
your roots?
Brooklyn.
Where are you from?
From Brooklyn, New York, you know, straight like DeKalb, Bed-Stuy, like that area. Nice. And what else? I'm trying to think. I'm black.
I'm black.
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. You know, shout out Miles Morales. Like, that's the vibes people tell me. Like,
Morales vibes,
yeah, he's
right?
Black, Puerto Rican, and
same.
from Brooklyn.
Me
so
too.
that's the vibes.
Shout out to us.
You feel me?
A little bit of mixing ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying?
So I just like music, man.
I just like music, as simple as that.
I feel like sometimes my vibe, like my, what's the word, like an aura thing. Like, my aura is literally just music. Like, when someone asks me like, yo, like what's been going on? How's life? I'm just like, oh yeah, it's good. I've been doing this, blah blah. And it's all music related. Yeah. And so like, it's boring sometimes, but like this is really what I do.
It's like really what I do. I really eat, sleep, and breathe music all day long.
Non-stop.
Do you write? You write your own music?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I you know.
What is that like to like sit there and write like your own jams?
Well, it's really fun because it's either like I'm starting off on the guitar and I'm just like putting together, ideas and trying to like flesh it out, so to speak. It's either that or
flesh it out.
Yeah, flesh it out. Like, you know,
I'll out the feelings.
Yeah, like more like start with the. I'll start with like the skeleton of the record and start building on it like in my head, and then when I go to the studio, have the producers add on top of it.
I want to know more about like that kind of, because I'm not an artist, but I want to know like how does music come out from inside to out? You know what I mean? Like, how do you flesh it out? Like how you say.
For that last song. For Gone, it's a couple chords. I'm just on the guitar, just strumming. So
you started with the beat,
and then I started getting words in my head, and I just heard na 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 na.
Okay.
And so like I got that, then I got the words together for the chorus, and then I figured out the verse, all of that good jazz, and then I brought it to the studio, and I was like, yo,
I got this thing.
What we doing? What you gonna do about it? But if it's not like that, I kind of like playing around with other kind of like approaches as well. For example, like I love attempting. It doesn't always work out. It doesn't always work out. But I really, really enjoy going into the studio and someone just plays a beat and I'm like, let's do it. And I'll just.
You start winging it?
Yeah, I'll just freestyle the melodies, figure out my sections, and it comes out really good most of the time. Like there'll be a couple of times where I'm like, all right, I gotta fix this and that, because I love working from home and bringing the music in,
right?
Because it helps me really put the idea together, like I was saying, fleshing it out.
Right.
That's fun. I'm trying to think what else.
Do you ever like write it down, come in and be like, find me a beat for this thing that I wrote down?
That's tough because
the beat comes to you first.
Yeah,
usually.
It's more like like the chorus comes with the beat. So like the song will come. Let's see. I'm trying to think of another example. Like Young Love.
I need to know. I'm so like
Young Love was like, guess I'm not used to Young Love. Tried it, didn't make it, and then I'm just here to boom dum. Like I'm hearing all that in my head at the same time. I'm like, how do I put this together? Like what? And now I had 3 different producers add to it, and I was like, all right, let me put it all.
You know who you reminded me of? Like, no lie, just now. Kind of like Michael Jackson.
What?
No, I aside from like, I know he has a really dope Jackson story, but like aside from that though, like that's how I was watching an interview of Michael Jackson, and he was saying the same thing too, where he was creating the instrument sounds like with his mouth, and was like, I need you to mimic this sound.
Yeah.
So I think that is like musical genius vibes. No, for real. Like if you're able to be like, and I want like boom, 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 and then you're like, I don't know what that is, but like you go to the booth, like I need you to recreate this beat that I'm making up in my head.
Yeah, I feel like that's my biggest struggle too. Like, cause I have the idea in my head, but I won't, and this is something I probably will start doing. Now that you even mentioned it, but I normally don't like just like beatbox the vibe that I want it to be, and have it all in like a 3-track audio, where one's the beatbox, one is the vocal, and one's the guitar, so you have a full feeling.
Right.
I'm gonna start doing that, man. That's gonna work.
I think it would. I think that's what Michael Jackson said he would do, and Mariah Carey too, where she would go and she would sing the violin part that she wanted it to sound like, you know what I mean? And they would like mimic like her voice, which is wild, because it's like how musically in tune you have to be in order to create a musical sound with your voice and know that this instrument can produce that.
And that's what happens. Is like when you choose music and you let it like kind of like, it's like your oxygen.
Yeah.
Is like you just get it.
You'll just know like I need strings here, some sort of strings here. I need some type of bass here.
Right.
I need, you know what I'm saying? Because I know a little bit about like music, putting it together, but to like develop a song, I can only imagine like how deep and rough like that goes. So I just wanted to ask you again. So you said during like quarantine time, you were doing like quarantine radio, and then you had that situation where Janet Jackson heard you sing. Tell me about that. What is that about?
Okay, so I think this is like 2021, maybe.
Nice.
Maybe 2020. Whenever COVID started, or like the middle of COVID, I remember Tory Lanez had started this quarantine live challenge where he'd have a talent
radio. He was going crazy.
Yeah, so he would have like a talent show, and or he just started the talent show. And I was like, I remember being on my phone in my room, had everything prepped, my guitar was on the side, like just waiting for my opportunity to go up.
Yeah.
I just so happened to be the first person to load up.
No.
At like the first time he tried it, the first time it was like a talent show.
No, this was the first
like
time
the first
he did
time,
it?
because there's other things that he does. He'll do like with the girls and stuff.
Oh, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, he'll do that. But this was the first
shaking contest.
But this was the first time it was like, all right, let me hear some people like actually do something like that's like musically related or musically inclined, or maybe not even. Maybe I want to see someone do a backflip off of a roof or something. Like whatever was like deemed talent, let's try that too. And so, yeah, I'm the first one to load up, and I'm like, oh crap. Okay, grab my guitar, like let me get situated. Long story short, I sing "Dirty Diana" by Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And they loved it. They liked it a lot. Okay, yeah. So after that happened, Janet Jackson and her people, they reached out to me, and they're like, hey, like they're asking me, hey, we'd love to like get a video.
Wait, how did they see you on?
They saw the video, because the video
Did it go like viral?
It went really viral because it was on Twitter. It was everywhere. It was a moment.
It was a moment.
And then they reached out to me, and they were saying that that what was it? Oh, they asked me if I could do another video. Like if I could do like a video to censor them so she could post that like a specific
like
one.
A Jackson.
Like just for her page. Yeah, just for her page. It's like just me in my room or something, sing it. And then on the side, her manager, he told me like, hey, like the funny thing is Janet thought that you were like related to them. She was like questioning like, yo, is he one of ours?
Like, wait, hold on. Can we trace him down the lines, because that was some talent. You probably gave her like general like really good like Mike vibes. You know what I mean? Oh, that's so cool. Just
heavily influenced, not blood, but no, that was like a big compliment. You know, just to be like even like
acknowledged.
Yeah, like you might be part of the family. Like
word, I would have totally lost it. If she would have reached out to me. That's kind of how it was like with the whole like Angie Martinez thing when I posted my first video and then she reposted it. I was like, no freaking way. No way. Like, and that just gave me like even more like when things like that happen, doesn't it like just give you such a boost of like confidence? It's like, yes.
Yeah, it's just a reminder like, okay, I just gotta keep going.
I'm about this life.
Like, yeah. This is a sign. Like, why else would this be happening? You know?
It was meant to be. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to cut into another one of Miles' song called Stuck in Paradise. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Miles and his music journey. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Tany Talks Live.
Tany Talks Live.
The new Party 1019. The new Party New York's #1 for throwbacks.
Hello, and welcome to Tany Talks Live. You guys were just listening to Stuck in Paradise by Miles, who is my special guest for today. So, Miles, tell me a little bit about Stuck in Paradise and what that song is all about.
That song's it's sad.
It's sad.
Because it was someone, we were like fairly close, someone I knew that had passed away.
Oh.
Yeah, and
wow.
when I wrote it, I was just like really like thinking about, wow, like this life is so like short. Like we should just really enjoy every like second we have here.
Actually, that took a deep turn. I had no idea that song was about
that.
I didn't take it for that, and now that you said it, and now I'm thinking about the music, I'm like, dang,
yeah,
because
I'm like saying you can meet me in paradise, you know, you can meet me, up there, like I'll see you again, But the whole like some of my songs, I like making things that are supposed to be sad feel good, because it's like, hey, let's just remember, like this is still like it's still a celebration of somebody's life.
Right.
In that specific example.
Yeah, like it's not such a sad song. It kind of reminds me of which song was that Maroon 5 made called Memories?
Ooh, yeah, like that.
That's like a goody sad song,
Yeah.
Like you mean, like it's like a goody song, but it's like a sad song. So that's that. I would have never taken it for that, but I can see how it could be a goody sad song. It's like it helped me through my morning kind of song.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Not the one that keeps me in the down and ups. Oh, that's a good one. I never thought about that with that song Stuck in Paradise. Now I have a whole new. I love music that could do that too. Like could be so multi-layered. Like it could be for whatever you want it to be. Whatever paradise you want to be stuck in, and wherever you mean it, make it for what you want it to
Exactly.
be. I love that. Like it's so multi-layered. Oh. So tell me, what collabs have you done that you would think you would be most proud of? I know we were talking about the whole Neo situation. How did you meet Neo? And how did you get to do these songs with him? Tell me about it.
I met Neo sometime after the quarantine. It was like around that same period where everything was just blowing up, and his people reached out. They're really dope, and they just were like, hey, like let's meet up. Like let's try.
So Neo's people randomly hit you up, was like, hey, let's meet up.
Like more like
like how does that even
not
work?
really like that, more like I also
you have to have done something
like,
that he saw.
Yeah, like they saw the quarantine thing.
Oh, that same one.
Yeah, and they reached out. But it just so happened they knew people I knew too. So we all it was all like it meshed well. You know, it meshed
the
really
industry
well.
is small.
And so they're just like, hey, we're here. Like pull up. It's a vibe. I pull up.
They were at the studio?
No, this was like I forget. It was some kind of event. It was some like he was celebrating it was a song or something. I can't remember right now.
Like a release thing?
Yeah, like a release thing.
Okay.
And so I pull up, get the guitar, and like do the thing.
Do your thing. Do the thing.
Do the thing. And he was like, yeah, man, you're dope. Yeah, like we'll talk. And I was like, I like brushed it off because I'm just like, I'm excited, I'm happy, but I'm also like people say things all the time.
Yeah,
you never really know.
Exactly, especially in this industry. Hello.
Yeah. But before I knew it, they were like reaching out, planning a trip to go meet up. We meet up in LA, work on a record. Meet up in Atlanta, we're just working on songs. And it's like,
he liked you enough to be like, I want this kid Miles to make music with me. I want him around. Bring him in, because I want to make some music with him.
And yes, and he's one of my favorite artists actually. So like,
I love Neo too.
It's so dope to kind of like watch somebody's process, or watch someone you looked up to and see how they do it, and be like, okay, I'm taking notes. Let me just.
So what did you learn from Neo sitting in the studio with him and making songs?
One of my favorite things about Neo's process is like, I feel like there's a lot of people that come into like a studio session sometimes. Like I prefer private sessions. Like no one has to be there.
Right. I know they be having everybody named Mama in the studio.
Just me, management, engineer, producer. Like we're good. Let's do it. But what I noticed with him, I forget, we had this one session and he was just kind of like, I hear all the chatter and stuff. And he's just kind of like sitting in his chair, like on his phone, just like taking like a lot of beats playing in the background. And then he just gets up, walks into the booth, sits for like maybe like 5 more minutes, and just starts recording like was like an entire song. Yeah. And
nice.
And so what I thought was cool about that, he knows how to block out all the noise. And so I've taken that into account, especially when people are just like yapping, like straight like
in the studio
going on and on, like you should do this, you should do this. I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, yeah. Going to the booth, like, all right. And then, because, like, I like following my vision as far, like, I like getting to the point where, like, okay, I know this is what my vision was, and I brought it into reality. Now what can we add on top of that?
Right. As long as we stay to the core.
Yeah, you know?
Stick to the core.
Yeah, like that's all it is. As long as it remains, like, the foundation is set up that, like, I wanted.
That I made, yeah.
You know, that I envisioned. It feels, I feel comfortable. Unless it's, like, a writing session, I'm with other writers. That's different. Right. You know, like, if I have, like, a session where, like, I have a friend come through and we want to put something together, it's like now we're making a joint, we're collabing.
Right.
Even if it wasn't like a feature, so to speak, you know, we're still collabing on creating a product, a really like a beautiful thing, you know.
Right.
So that's different. You have to really take time and hear people out and stuff. That's also like part of just being a good human being, like not just ignoring people, you know.
Right.
Like, so yeah, there's levels. There's levels to it.
Cool.
And Neo showed me that there's levels to it. Like, you know.
That's good.
He's great.
That's good. I'm glad you were able to, you know, sit in a room with like some of the greats and really like gain some skills. And I also just wanted to let you guys know, if you guys didn't know, Miles had the amazing opportunity of being a contestant on American Idol, which is really dope.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you, like, so how was that experience? And first of all, like, did you do the average like auditions like we see like on TV, and like how that progressed and how far did you go? Tell me about it.
So basically, like, I auditioned. They tell me, like, okay, like, golden ticket, here you go. And what happens is,
so that means like you're straight going to Hollywood, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of vibes, right?
Yeah, no, it's
so
vibes.
You went
it is
and you
vibes.
auditioned, and they was like, yeah, we don't even need him to come back. Just send him straight to Hollywood.
Yeah. So, like, that's,
Woo,
it's fun.
Good for you.
And no, thank you. And I don't think I made it as far as I would have liked, but I think what was cool about it, and I keep telling people this because it was my takeaway at least, was I just met so many really, really, talented, but more importantly, just amazing individuals. Like, great people, like, everyone's been through something, so there's no, like, you know, there's no egos in the room. It's just,
I love that.
It's just human to human, like, real.
Like, everyone was just super humble to, like, just be there and share their talents. And
and
so
just
good.
happy to be around other musicians.
So there was no shade.
Yeah, there wasn't.
No shadiness.
But, like, the people, there was enough. There was ratio. Like, there was enough people that were humble.
It was ratio.
To block
so it was
out.
balance. It was balance
to block that out. So
That's good.
Yeah,
so,
that was my favorite part, was just meeting all of these really dope people. And we have a group chat. Like, we're all friends still.
Like season 22 group chat.
You know, like.
Period.
Seriously.
I hear that. But then, well, go ahead. You go.
I was gonna say that the winner of American Idol was from my audition city. Like, that's our people. Shout out Abby Carter. That's my people.
Shout out to you, Abby.
But it felt good though, and that's what I mean. Like, you grow a community of, like, oh man, we've been here since day one, man. We were all waiting to, you know, like, perform and stuff. Everyone's nervous together. You know, most people didn't really see it as a competition. Just saw it as like
all saw it as an opportunity.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity. We could all win. We just got to do our best. You know. We just got to figure it out to get as far as we can.
And winning is not always about winning. Mm-hmm. I think I think a lot of people, I feel like from my experience of watching the show, it's like, it's not always about who wins the show, because at the end of the day, being on the show is a win alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And gaining that experience. What can you say? What have you learned as far as skills from that particular show? Like, have you ever did reality before?
No. I think what I learned is just being mindful. Being very mindful. Get your rest. Just be ready. Like, you know, you want to be as energized as possible when the moment comes, because the moment of, like, literally auditioning or just performing as you make your way in the competition is brief in comparison to everything else you have to do outside of that. Like, there's so many other.
The prep is so much longer than the actual.
Yeah, everything else around it is, it can get hectic, and it's like, it's a lot. But as long as you're, like, you know, you get your rest and you stay focused on, like, all right, this 90-second performance just gotta be lit.
Yeah. So you're like prepping all week for like a 90-second thing.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be judged? Like, how was that? Like, have you ever like did a judgy kind of thing before?
I mean, like,
by big people at that too. Like, those are like major.
Yeah. I mean, for me,
judges right there.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. Like, I feel like I get more nervous in a room of a room of people, I don't know how to explain, like, just random people. Like, not to say that they're celebrities, so they're not technically random.
Right.
But, like, it's a little different. Like, I know your music, blah, blah, blah. It's a little different in comparison to like just a room of people I've never met before, don't have any idea who they are. And the nerves
That's
are
more nerve-wracking?
for sure.
Really?
For me at least, because I don't know. It wasn't like a nerves thing. Like I get nervous when I perform in general. So it wasn't like nervous because I was in front of these people. It was more so I guess nerves that like there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like it's like what led up to getting to this point. The anticipation. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay. It was the anticipation to that moment that was like a lot, you know? But if you just like chill and like, you know, make sure I got this song on lock. I'm definitely doing this song. No one can tell me I'm not doing this song. I have this practiced, arranged exactly the way I need it to go.
Right.
And you just go in, you'll be fine.
Like, did you ever hear anything from the judges that like bothered you, or like either super hurt you and made you better, or like super gave you like super duper confidence?
I felt like they enjoyed, because I had to do 2 songs. I felt like they enjoyed my original more than the cover song I did, which was just a reminder.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's like because their whole thing was like, well, who is Miles, so to speak, right? And I think with the second song I showcased that, and so that's something I would keep in mind, at least for me, because I have so many people that, you know, they say I look like this person, I sound like this person, but like when I play my original stuff, it's like, oh, this is him. This sounds like you. Yeah. You know. So
I would totally agree with that. When I heard you sing Young Love, it was very much like, who is this guy? What is he doing? I love it. I bring it here. This is totally original, totally nothing I've never heard before, nothing I've ever seen before. And I don't know if I told y'all, but when I first heard Miles perform, he was in Pianos downtown. My boy Ben Samuel, shout out to him. He was performing, and I didn't really know who he was. I was just like, okay, I'm here to support like my homegirl Savannah Hannah, who was performing that day. And I'm like, he was going, and he was singing with just him and his guitar, and I literally caught goosebumps. And I'm like, who is this? Who is this? I need him. He's great. Bring him on in. I have to see him. Like, I was so intrigued by like your originality, you know, because I haven't never. You could just tell, like, I'm a person that has a good ear for music, and I see music and I watch performers, and you have a stage presence. You have like your own. You have your own thing going on, and I love people who own who they are, right? Where they're not trying to be anybody else but themselves. Like, he has this like super cool curly hair, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm chill kind of vibe. Like, I'm not too flashy, I'm just who I am, you know what I mean? And I love that for you. I love that. So what can you tell other people to stay original? Well,
for me, man, I think I'm a good example of like what it takes to become original, right? Just because my whole life has just been comparisons. Like, I couldn't tell. Sorry. No, it's okay, but I couldn't tell you one day out of the week that I wasn't called anyone from Bruno to Michael Jackson to the week. I get like literally like I could have braids in my hair.
It doesn't matter.
And I'm playing basketball on the court, and someone's like, "You look like Bruno." I'm like, "What? How?" You know? But I think because of that, it made me strive for my originality more, because these are my influences. But it's like, it's true. It's like, who is Miles? I guess what I would say is just create. Go like at least let's start with in terms of being a musician. You know, like just go in the studio and get out all of the ideas that like sound like your favorite artist, because that was your influences. Get all of those out the way, because it's like running water, you know, not to say those songs are bad. They're probably really good records. Right. But like, it's like running brown water, where you got to get rid of the brown water. You got to like let it flow, and
that's a good one.
You know, and then it clears up, you know?
Running brown water. That was great.
So, so you just got to let it flow. And eventually you'll just tap into another level of creativity as you're only getting better the more you work on your craft. Right. So just continue to work on your craft, and also outside of that, just continue finding yourself as a person. Right. Like, outside of just being a musician, just who are you? Right. Like, what do you love? What do you hold near and dear to your heart? What are the things you've been through that make you, you? Right. You know? And so through all of those situations and having those moments of contemplating, I figured out like a decent idea of who I was, right. You know, and it kind of just ran with it.
So what would you say is your sound?
I would say my sound is primarily feel good, just feel good music But my
that.
goal is just to heal, like as a musician. Like a lot of my records are in the direction of like, I want you to feel like you could go through. How do I explain this? Like I want the record to make you feel you can kind of like just kick back. You know, you got the breeze in your face, sun shining.
I love a good feel-good music.
You know, so that's definitely my vibe. I'm dabbling in a couple of different sounds right now too.
I was gonna ask that too. Are we gonna switch it up? Like, if you could switch it up, what would you be into?
I mean, I've dabbled in like I got like we were in the studio the other day and my uncle, cause he manages Fabio, he was telling me hey, like, you want to try like a sexy drill kind of a vibe? I was like, let's see, and we recorded it, and
it's giving Fabi.
It was fun. It was really fun. And I just like music, so it's not like I'm stuck on one genre.
Exactly.
You know, like whatever is in the moment, like, hey, let's create and see what comes up. What's the outcome? The record doesn't even have to be for me. You know, that when I think of it like that, the world is like fun, the world is yours. There's no pressure. You just create.
Would you be into like a techno vibe?
I've done it.
He's like, I've done it.
I have a vault.
Afro beats kind of vibe.
I have a vault of music. like
a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So like it's more of the when and getting the rollout ready for like releasing very, very consistently.
So let's talk about your newest one. Your newest release that we were talking about today.
Matter of Time.
Yes, let's talk about A Matter of Time, because if it's a matter of time, you know what I'm saying, for Miles, let me tell you. So tell us a little bit about that track.
Well, that track was really fun to just create. That was one of those like, hey, here's a beat. What do you want to do with it? You know? And shout out to one of my close buddies, Janelle Mack, an insane.
I know Janelle Mack too.
Super talented.
I love her. She's so good.
So talented. And I think we had one session before where we were both writing for someone else. And then we just clicked. We were like, okay, we got to link up. And
I love her. She's so good.
Yo, she's amazing, so talented. And we just got in the studio and wrote it. We just did it. Like it was it was such a vibe. Like I just remember like we're just bopping. Like she goes in the booth, her melodies come out fire, and I'm just like bopping. I go into the booth, I'm singing melody. She's just like, and then like
I love it.
And then we come out the booth, we start writing like, yeah, that line, yeah, let's do this. And
I love that.
It's cool. It's like one of my first like collab records, like writing wise,
nice.
That I'm releasing.
So she co-wrote it with you. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Shout out
so
to her.
It's gonna be a fun one, man. I'm looking forward to this record so much. Yeah.
What is A Matter of Time about? Time for what? What are we talking about?
Like it's like basically just remembering like the times you had with somebody that you cared about. You might have been like what, like a kid, like 16 or something like that.
Like it was only a matter of time.
Like, hey, like it didn't work out, but like, yo, like we were best friends, but you wasn't digging me, you was digging that other guy. But yo, I'm a grown man now. Like we're just picking up where we left off. It was a matter of time.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into that brand new track called Matter of Time by Miles. And I want to thank you so much, Miles, for coming into Tany Talks Live, you know, talking a little bit about his career paths and, you know, his artistry and things like that. You know, is there anything you want to say before we go ahead and get into that track?
Well, one, thank you for having me. This is really, really fun. So make sure you check this out, no matter what episode it is, whenever it comes on. And then also, whenever Matter of Time.
And where can they find you? Give them your Instagram.
Oh yeah, you can find me on Instagram at MilesMusic_. Miles MILES Music with a little underscore at the very end. TikTok's the same. And yeah, just keep up with me. I got a lot of music coming up.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Matter of Time by Miles.
The kids have their station. Now you have yours. The new Party 1019, New York's #1 for throwbacks.